Okay, so I was thinking about, I said I would do another video tomorrow, but I was thinking, no, I just want the video short. I don't have to do them on different days. I can do it all in one day if I can get them in. So I am doing another part here, just covering up some of my personal information, and so I can show you a couple of things. Now, what you're going to do, once you decide if you're going to apply online or if you're going to apply in person, whichever you decide to do, you will want to keep copies. Now, I kind of took off my personal information, but you see how this is, oh, you can still see that. You see how this is a colored paper. Is that mine? Okay. Yeah, you see how this is colored paper. Okay, it's on this blue paper. And what happened is I went in person. See? And I went in person and applied, like I said. But this is my original because you see the color paper. Now, the reason that's important is because this is my original. Okay? So I didn't make copies of it. I didn't retain the copies. I retained the originals. And the reason this is important is because you know this is a government office. It's on blue paper. You know that means something. It wasn't just because the clerk wanted some color in her day. This paper color means something. It could be, you know, it could signify a new application or whatever it is. Only they know. But the reason that's important is because when I applied originally in 2010, December, I waited. I gave them a full year. I didn't bother them. But when I went back in 2012 in January to check on my application, they didn't have it. They said they didn't have it. I would have to reapply, and I've already lost a year. I said, I'm not going to reapply. They said, do you have your copies of the stuff? And I said, yes, I do. And voila, I presented this. This is what saved me because it was on the color paper and it has the guy's name on the bottom who helped me and his phone number. But this saved me, okay? So you want to make sure that you keep all of your originals, not copies of them, all of your originals. And so because I had this, they had to go all the way back to 2010. And you know, when you're disabled, they go back a year. So they actually went back to 2009. So that's really important for you to do. Okay, so now you've decided you're going to apply. Now, before you apply, remember you got the copies of your medical records and you got your IDs and everything. But one of the things that you want to make sure that you do is before you go in, you want to know in advance, like what are your limitations. Okay, so you have lupus, for example. Having lupus, how does that limit you? How does having lupus make you disabled? And what type of things can you no longer do? You need to know that before you go in, because what happens, you'll be sitting there with them, and because these questions are, you know, you didn't prepare for them, you're just trying to think of things, you know, trying to think of things that, you know, you want to put down to obviously help your case. But you're thinking, you're under pressure, and they're, you know, kind of going through the application with you. And so you don't want to get stuck in that situation. So you want to know, like, map out what your limitations are. You can make a list for yourself before going in. Okay, so do you have to have someone monitor your meds, administer your meds for you? Do you have to have help getting in and out of the bathtub? Do you have to have someone come in and prepare your meals? How does having lupus affect your daily living? And how has it affected your ability to just function in your daily tasks? So you want to make sure that you know that beforehand. Um, do you live alone? Do you live with someone? Um, what is the relationship? Oh, she's, my daughter, but she's also my caretaker. Or, you want to make sure you have that, because what they're going to do is they're going to give you a form, and the form that they give you, you have to take it to someone who can basically vouch for you. They'll, be like a caretaker or a relative, your husband, your wife, and they have to tell how they help you with your daily living. Okay. And so you want to have that written down. If you have to have someone come in and clean your home, all those types of things, you need to be prepared to provide to them. Um, if you're still working, I don't know what the situation should be if you're still working. However, I know that there is a way that you can apply for disability while you're still working, and have your case seriously considered. But I'm just not sure about that. I'd have to kind of read up on that and see, the best way to approach that. But so you have your copies, you have everything. You went into the Social Security office. You have a list of limitations. You have a list of things that you suffer from. So with lupus, you have lupus. Now, tell me, what are some of the symptoms of lupus, and how do they affect your daily living? You want to have that information as well. So make a list of all those things and be prepared. It sounds like a lot, but it really isn't a lot if you stay organized. If you stay organized, you'll be able to get through it with very little stress. Okay? So that was going into the Social Security office to apply, and how to best prepare before going in. So I'm going to see you on video 3. I'm keeping them short. Remember that. Okay. Toodles.